I really pray that this will not happen again. And but whatever happens, the session must continue tonight. This must continue in Jesus' name. So Amen. I will now, because of time, in the interest of time, I'll not say more than a lot of things. And I will just want to say that welcome everyone who has come in tonight. As I had said earlier, Matthew Mugo is my name. This is the 9th session. Royal Youth Mentorship is the program, and we have been doing this impacting youths, and we have wonderful, wonderful testimonies of what God has done so far and how much many people have been impacted. I don't want to say more on that right now, but I want to say that tonight we are so privileged to have, guess who? The Queen of Networking. I mean, I saw that name and I was like, the first time I saw it was the first session of Kadikuna's Women Without Limits. I was like, you know, Queen of Networking. I'm like, I want to hear more about this. And seeing you here, Sarah, is such a privilege. It's such a privilege for me and for all of us. I know you would have been somewhere else, possibly doing an international conference, but you are here with us. And it's such an honor. For the youth who are out there, young or old, please know that we are privileged to have our speaker tonight. And I keep saying, it's not because you know, it's for free. You know, whatever she's doing is not because it's cheap, as much as she's doing it for free. So what you get, you would be paying maybe a few thousands, 10,000 to just for this 1 hour, but you are getting it for free. Take it with a lot of with a lot of zeal and zest, and make sure that you grab something that you can run with and you know, implement with you know, in your life. For housekeeping, we have chat option there. Everybody will remain muted as the program goes along as the speaker speaks. But as we head towards the end, we will open the forum for you to be able to ask questions, and she will be able to respond. We always make it interactive, so prepare to ask your questions. As we move along, feel free to put your chat there, any reaction you have or any question that you have, they will be responded to. And if you feel that the point is good, there's something called reactions there. You can just put a thumb like that one, or you can put a clap. It makes the speaker feel that you are interacting, and because you will not be talking as she talks, she knows that you are already there when she sees that kind of reaction. So the 7 of us, you are most welcome. Sarah, it's your opportunity. Take it away. And karibu sana. But I remembered I've not prayed. Allow me to make a prayer as we begin. Almighty Father, this is an awesome night to have, and we are grateful that you have given us this opportunity. We pray that as your servant and our speaker, Sarah, speaks to us tonight, you will grant her the wisdom and the utterance that comes from you, and us, you will give us hearts that are ready to learn, and that each one of us who came and every other person who will be coming, that we will be able to pick something that we can learn and run with, oh dear Lord, and that will be transformational to our lives. We pray that there will not be network challenges, both on the side of the speaker, my side, and the side of every other person who is following. And even those ones who are watching on Facebook Live, they will also not have any problems or any struggles, and this will be an impactful session. We thank you and we honor you. We have prayed this, believing and trusting in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Matthew, for inviting me this evening to speak to the listeners. I believe the majority are young people, and yes, my heart goes for young people. So I think we are in the right space. And whoever else is listening, I believe is also young and young at heart. And as you can see, our topic today is why you should start networking early. And before I even introduce myself, I would like to say that if you're here and listening, I would like you to know that networking is a very important skill today. It has always been important. And because I believe most of those people who are listening are believers, the Bible is all about people, is about empowerment, is about development, and it's about making people grow. And God grows seeds. God also, of course, wants to see his people move from one level to another level. And that is why networking is important. Networking is not done by animals. It is not done by dead things. It is done by people for a certain reason. And this reason is to empower one another, to lift one another. There's one of the people that I love, and I love their quote. I love his quote. And this is Robert Ingersoll. And he says, if you want to rise, you should lift others. If you want to rise, you should lift others. What this means is that rising means maybe probably if you want to get knowledge, you should make sure that, of course, you get people who lift you and get that knowledge. So if you're knowledgeable, don't stay with that knowledge. Spread it as much as possible. Enlighten other people. And when you see people smiling or being happy, they also grow you. But you realize most of us are very selfish. We don't like helping other people because we think when we give, we lose. But you don't realize that when we give is when we gain. So networking is all about, it has a multiplier effect that you grow a seed, and that seed grows into a plant. Then after it grows into a plant, it will bear fruits. And those fruits, of course, will be eaten by many people. So whatever you have, that seed you have, the skill you have, the knowledge you have, the ability you have, anything that you have, share, and it will be multiplied. So today we are going to learn about why networking is very important and why you people should call yourselves lucky that the technology is giving us or helping us to learn a lot of things, and we don't have to assume anybody. One thing that I always say is anybody that you meet has something that you don't have, has something that you don't know. And so I never assume anyone. Be it a child, like my grandson is one who has helped me to connect here. He's only 11 years old. Be it an old man, of course, old men and women, of course, have wisdom. So you should not assume that because they are very old, there's nothing you can get from them. And anybody else that you meet, even chokoras, never assume anything. There's those who have even helped me. So for me, it's like, it doesn't matter whether you are the president or whether you are a chokora. I take people seriously and I take them with a lot of respect because I know everybody that I meet, God makes me to meet them for a purpose. So now I think we need to go to the next slide about who Sarah is or who this queen you hear about. My crown is in my head. So even when you see me like this and you don't see me with a crown, don't ask, why doesn't she have a crown on her head? But my crown is inside my head. Now, when I call myself an expert in networking, I did not go to the university to learn about networking. And let me be very clear to all of you. Networking, I have done a lot of research. I've been to the University of Nairobi. I've been to Kenyatta University. I went to Strathmore University. And I even asked some professors, is networking taught as a main subject? And they said, there's one professor who is a very good friend of mine. He's called Professor Wangombe. He has been a lecturer at the University of Strathmore, and he taught me in some entrepreneurship classes, and I was very interested to know whether they train on networking. You know what the answer was? No. So that one just is, we just train it just as it's just a small thing. I mean, it's not very important to us. But then I asked him why. But for me I know networking is very important, and sooner or later, if I'm not going to be one of those lecturers, there will be somebody somewhere who should start teaching networking. But what I know, probably I could be given a degree about the same. Now, Sarah is a speaker. And I'll say that I became a speaker after networking. I became an award winner after networking. I became an author after networking. I became a lead trainer at Global Networks Investment after networking, and an entrepreneur with a vast experience in business networking. Now, how did I become a speaker?
Sarah, maybe let me ask, have you moved to the next slide? Because we can't see the next slide.
Yes, I have.
If you have a challenge, oh, you have. What? Yes. Let me do like this. Can I share it from my end?
Yes.
Yes, let me share it from my end. I don't know whether you can see that.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be?
Yes.
When you want to move next, you just tell me, go to the next one.
Okay. Yeah, so now I was just saying that how I came face to face with networking and why I call myself an expert in networking and how I found myself networking. And I said I became a speaker through networking, an award winner through networking, and author, lead trainer, and whatever I am today, I would say I am here or at this level because of networking. Now, I became a speaker after seeing a flyer. Of course, I never used to be digital at all. I used to be analog, like most of my age mates, although, of course, people now are changing a little bit. And I went to Pepe Minambo's class through a friend who invited me. And I met someone I have seen here who is a friend of mine, and he's billionaire Anthony Roberts. And we went to that class and we learned. So of course, had I not been held my hand, I could not have known how to go and become a speaker. Then I became an award winner because I have connected so many people in different or various fields. Some people, of course, I have connected them to businesses. Others have connected them for career. Others have connected them. I have a wide network of people. And that is how I found myself becoming an award winner when I became so good in networking that I have today, I think I have received more than 10 awards. Some of them I can't even remember. I've received some through Business Network International. Others have received them through different organizations. And so I would say that for me to win this award is because I have become so unique in whatever I do. I have learned the skill of networking so well. Every day, I will tell you for sure, I have learned, I wake up early in the morning at 4:30 and I must either listen to a podcast or I read something about networking to become good every day. Then I became an author not very long ago, it's like 2 years ago. And this I was encouraged by Pepe Minambo to become an author. Of course, he encouraged most of us who are in his class. And that is how I became an author. Then I became a trainer when I realized very many people would like to have this skill. I would see many people making the same mistakes I was making. And I decided, why can't I just start training? Because I have seen myself change my business. I learned how to become digital. Before, I never used to know what a website was. And I've been telling the people that I have met that I used to see 3 W's like on a billboard. And I never used to understand what those 3 W's meant until I went somewhere and I asked somebody, what are these 3 W's? And then I came to learn, of course, is a website. It means, of course, and I didn't know what a website was, so I was taught. And so if I didn't take myself to somebody to teach me, I could not have learned the importance of a website. Today, I'm so digital. Go to Facebook, you find me, I'm there. And I make sure that whatever I post there, I can say 95% of what I post on social media is something that is worth of value. It helps people, you read, and the content that I post even on my own personal blog is information that can help you. I have a blog as well. It is www.sarahkiringi.com. I am also present in Facebook. I have a Twitter, Instagram, and so when you go there, you find me there. Now, I will not talk about building and construction, but otherwise I'm in it, although this is something which my husband started, and I continued working, but at some point I got a hitch, but because of networking, I was able to get connected to people who have really helped me. So networking is all about one person being connected to another for a purpose. And that purpose is to grow one another, to change one another. But the question I would like to pose to you, are you ready to be helped by somebody? Are you ready to listen? Or are you this person who says, I know so much, so why should I ask more? Or who is she? After all, I can see she's in tatters. There's nothing she can tell me. So in this case, what we need to do is to know that even if I'm an expert, I'm calling myself an expert in networking. I should not assume that I know everything. No, that I should be a good listener and that you'll be able to get to the next level. Have you ever asked yourself why some people succeed while others don't? It's because they have a secret that you don't know. And probably some of them know about networking. Have you ever wondered why some people are more motivated than others? It could be because somebody somewhere told them that for you to grow, you need to do A, B, C, D. And so they followed. And so you see them happy all the time because somebody held their hand and they decided to change. So now, even today, there's this COVID-19 and people are complaining, oh, COVID-19, oh, my business has gone, oh, I cannot be able to do anything. Who said that that is the only business you can do? Can you see an opportunity? Because of course, networking is about picking opportunities, using your ears, using your eyes, using anything around you to pick an opportunity that you can take to your advantage and ride or fly with it. And then from there, don't listen to those people who keep on saying this. Look at negative, they are always negative, they imagine, and they say, oh, this can't work. Oh, this is not possible. So and so is the one who made me not to succeed. As I grew up, I grew up in an environment where I was not really motivated until I got to some people who helped me, and I decided it was a personal choice to change. But if I focused on those people who are telling me it's not possible, whatever you are doing is not worthwhile. There's somebody there who is telling you that whatever you are doing is not worthwhile, but you just have to refuse. Now we need to go to the next slide. More, please move to the next slide. Now, let us now define networking. There are quite a number of definitions on networking, but I just picked a few. Now, networking is the process of meeting and connecting with and establishing mutually beneficial relations. Now, when we hear of a process, try to think of a factory where, let's say, somebody is manufacturing clothes. Now, for you to get that garment on the other end, of course, there are so many things that are required. And so it doesn't mean that for you, when you see a dress, it has just become a dress. No, it's a process. For it to be a dress, something has been put together, maybe linen, color, and other things that have been put together to make it look beautiful. The same case as networking. Now, when you hear that networking is a process of meeting people, that it doesn't mean that, of course, you meet me today, and then once you meet me today, that's the end. If you're not going to follow up with me, then it means you may not be able to get what probably you wanted. So it is the process of meeting and connecting with. You have to connect. And when I mean by what I mean by connecting is making sure that that person, you have been able to understand who he is, what he does, why he does it. And so you have to engage him and find out why is it that you started this business? What are the challenges that you met along the way? How did you overcome the challenges? Now, when you engage somebody like that, and because people like to talk about themselves, you'll be able to pick something that you'll be able to use in your life or your business or your career, and then you get the next level. Now, when we talk of establishing mutually beneficial business relations, it's not only business, but it could be career. Though of course career is also a kind of business, because of course, okay, you may be employed or you have this skill, and so you have to establish that relationship that will be long-term. So when I meet Mogo today, I don't have to forget him. Okay, I don't have to be calling him each and every day, but do you ever take time to remember your customers? Do you ever take time to remember your employees? Do you ever take time to remember your suppliers? Just calling them once in a while, even your former classmates, because probably they have something that you'd want to have. Me today, if I want something, I'll call someone in America and I'll get what I want. I'll call someone in China because I have relations there and I'll get what I want. But when we talk of beneficial, mutual, it means I give you and you give me. So what it means is we have to exchange. It may not be immediate, but Probably once we build a relationship, the moment I get to know you, it means that I have to keep contact. Once in a while, I can call you, I can send you an email. And in case I need any help, maybe some information, I'll get it from you. So it is like a flow of information or a flow of that relationship, whereby I help you, you help me in case I am in need of a service, or maybe I need any help, I need some information, then I'll be ready to get that information, or I should also be ready to help you the same. Then networking is not about collecting contacts. Networking is about planting. It is about planting relations. Now, let me just give you a small story about myself. And this is a story I've told some people, and I believe some of them are here, like I can say Gillian Ombogo. Gillian was my student in GNI. And I think I told them my story, and they started laughing. I happened to be a member of Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industries. And now when I became a member of the chamber, it was just a few months after joining. We had a conference at this hotel, which is on Westlands, the one which closed the other day because of COVID. Now, when we met there, there were people who had been called from outside. They came, and now I had printed very many cards. I think there were over 200. And now what I did, because I went there very early, I decided to just dish out my business cards that I would collect and other cards from somebody. I mean, the people that I met. And I dished out all those cards. So you can imagine that effort. And then afterwards, I think after 2 days, I called 2 girls. I sat with them at Boulevard Hotel. I stayed there, I think we stayed there from 7:30 up to midnight, writing letters to them, emails, and telling them that I am Sarah Kiringi. We met at this particular hotel, and I would like you to give me business. This is what I do, and all that. That is the wrong way, because I did not plant a relation. Those people are looking at me and they're wondering, now what is she doing? They would take my card, and probably some of them threw it away because there was no relationship. So what you need to do is, if you want to get business, if you want to get a good, job somewhere, don't go telling maybe the people you meet when you meet Sarah that, please, Sarah, give me unemployment, or please connect me with George Washuri, or connect me to the president, or I saw you the first lady, please connect me. I will not do it. Why? Because I do not know you. And you know what? People give business, or people give contacts to those people who they know, they like, and they trust. So if I don't know you, how can I connect you to my contacts? If I don't know you well, and knowing is not just a name. It's not just knowing you like Lillian, or just knowing you by the name of Matthew, and then you think that I know you. No, it is having a relationship. I have to interact with you. I have to meet you once in a while. I have also to find out who you are. I'll go to social media and I'll find out who you are. What are the things that you post on social media? So when I see you are posting bad things on social media, and then you ask me to connect you to somebody, say with the president, I cannot do it, because I can see the things that that is communication, what kind of a person you are, yeah? So it's important for us to make sure that, of course, the people, whatever we do, we don't just have to go and collect contacts. What has happened? Let's go there.
Okay, go ahead. I asked Frida to assist. Frida is going to assist you in sharing. Frida, go ahead and share.
Okay.
Though I noticed somebody was writing on the screen. I don't know who that was.
What were they writing?
There's a way you can write on the screen. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah, go ahead. The screen is back.
Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so as I was saying, it's important for you to plant a relationship is to make sure that, of course, you support other people, you listen to them. So when you are called, you have to make sure that, of course, you are available. Or if you're not available, then you have to give a good reason why you are not going to be available, because at times you may not be available. But you cannot expect me, every time you are inviting me maybe to an event, I come. But when I ask you to help me, out of selfishness, I'm never available. And I will just tell you a story of somebody who one time came to me. He asked me to connect him for some promotion, to get an employment somewhere, a job somewhere. I didn't know him, but I decided to search him online. And then afterwards, because he was a young man and I could see he had very good credentials, I decided to just try and help him. So afterwards, he had seen that I was a friend of another lady online, and so he looked for me, and so we met. So I asked him whatever he wanted, and I was able to connect him to a certain lady. Of course, when he went for that interview, I was able to tell one of those ladies who, of course, was in the panel to consider his case, and he got that employment. But unfortunately, this man never told me that he got the job, and neither did I ask this lady that what happened. And so later on, I was to meet him, and I asked him, by the way, what happened? So he never told me he got this job. So what this means is that in my heart, I was like, this person that doesn't even have any gratitude. Why wouldn't somebody just have the guts or even the courtesy of saying, thank you very much, Sarah, I got this job. There are so many people, interviewees who went there. And when they went there, of course, because of the words that I had put, on him, helped him to get that job. So what am I saying here? Try and build a relationship with someone. You see, I didn't know him. I took him like my son. I was able to ask this lady to help him to get that job, which he did. So why wouldn't he come back and tell me, Sarah, I got this job? And because of that, now, of course, we start building that relationship, because probably he'll need another job somewhere. So when he comes to me next, another time, it's like I may not be able to help him to get that job, another job. So it's good for us to try and become human, become people who, of course, appreciate and are thankful and people of gratitude. Now, I would like also now to go to the next slide, and we talk about reasons why we need to start networking early. If I knew how to network when I was young, I don't think I would be where I am today. I would say that one of the reasons that has really made me to get to where I am, because I push myself. I wake up early in the morning, I read early in the morning, I organize my day. Like the whole of this week, even if you have to ask me to see that whether you want to see me, I'll just tell you no, because already I have scheduled my time. I know this week what I'm going to do. Next week, I've already purposed to do a few things. So what networkers do, they set goals. So even when you are networking, or if you're in business or you're in employment, you have to set a goal for yourself. Right now, I'm a president of my BNI chapter, and I've been setting goals for them. And I'm happy to say that I have been seeing very good results. So even when you are doing your business, or wherever you may be, make sure that, of course, you have set goals for yourself. So I decided, of course, also to work with the right people. I decided I always look for people that, of course, have to motivate me and, of course, grow me. And if I knew what I know today, I would have made sure that, of course, I started to network early. But I know all of us network. The only problem is that we don't network professionally, and that is why we don't go far. Now, some of the reasons for networking early is that it's an avenue to exchange ideas. I'm one person who loves listening to people. I ask questions, and once you get an idea, there are those people who probably get ideas and they don't bother. But there are those people who look for ideas. So once you meet people, they have ideas. You can ask them such that before you start any business, go to those people who have already been there. Ask them, what challenges have you met? Or can you advise me how to do 1, 2, or 3 things? Then after that, then you start, of course, walking that journey. So it's important to network early so that you can get ideas from those people who have already been there, because they have already paved that way for you. It also makes you very noticeable. There's one thing that I will tell you, that the moment I realized that networking is very important, and I came to know the power of visibility. Sarah is always visible. And what I did is that when some of my friends were saying, oh, I cannot go to social media, oh, I cannot do what? Okay, the only worst thing that I can do to myself is to post things that are obscene, or to do things that are crazy, or to do things that will make me appear like I'm not a professional. So once you are noticeable, people will always want to relate with you because probably there's something good you are posting online, or probably you are in church or you are somewhere and you've been told to say something, people will know you. And for sure, I can tell you, there are so many people who know me, I don't know them. Why? Because I have a good name. I have helped loads and loads of people. I have connected so many people. And because of that, wherever I go, it's very hard for me to go in a crowd of, say, about 100 people, and probably 3 or 4 or 5 people don't know me. So it's good for you to be noticeable, and of course, being noticeable in a good way, not be known as a criminal. Then it's an avenue for newer opportunities. Now, when I went to Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industries, I realized, of course, being one of those big organizations in this country, I realized there were quite a number of opportunities there. And there came a time when we were supposed to go to Dubai. I went to Dubai, excuse me, I went to Dubai, and when I went to Dubai through the chamber, I came to find to know that there is another network of women called Dubai Business Women Council, and I became a member. And from there, I was able to connect with some people there and do business with them. So of course, it's, you see, of course, it's an avenue for newer opportunities. There are new opportunities that come when you network. Then reassessing your qualification. You know, you may be there and probably you are not sure of what you do, or whether you do, whatever you do is something of value. So you can be someone who will assess you and tell you, oh, by the way, I can see you are doing so well. Most of you I know are doing or are in social media, or others have also do other things. But then you realize there's someone who will come and of course confirm and tell you that, whatever you are doing is so good. And because of that, you find that, of course, definitely you find yourself getting a better job, or someone asking you, can you come and do this and that for me? Like yesterday, there's one of my friends, young friends, who works for a cooperative bank. He's called Mugo. And Mugo, when we were talking, he told me, Sarah, I like writing quotes. Like now I think I have about, I think he's talked about 10,000 quotes. And I was like, wow, you have so many quotes. And then he asked me, Sarah, do you have some photos? And I said, yes. Within no time, I gave him some of my photos. And then he was able to put some quotes for me. I have some quotes, which of course, where my photos are not there. And he did that for me. And then after that, he told me, Sarah, you know what? I've just seen I can monetize this. And I was like, this man has actually thought. So you can imagine, I confirmed to him that he has this gift that which he can use so that he can make money, and which is something very good. So you see, of course, so in that case, that means, of course, now he qualifies even to write those quotes because he has many of them, but then, of course, and how to do it. And he told me for him, he had not thought about it. So it's important for you, and probably when to talk to somebody, and even as you talk, an idea will come and then you apply it. So it also improves your creative intellect, just the same way I have explained now. Because of course, once you network, there's someone who encourage you and tell you, I can see you have this skill. Why can't you go ahead and use it to your advantage? How many young people right now have so much knowledge, but they are not applying it? There's a girl who came to my home. She just came on a Sunday. She came with very nice cakes. And then I asked her, my dear, these cakes you have, do you sell them? She said, no. Me, I just cook. I mean, I just bake and I give them to some friends. But there are some people within my apartment who ask me to bake for them. And then I asked her, have you ever thought of putting those cakes in a WhatsApp group, in that WhatsApp group, in that apartment, and then you tell them that you can sell? And then she said, oh my goodness, I had not thought about that. You see, now at times it requires someone just to come and just trick you and tell you, know what, this is a good idea. And what you are doing is so good and you can make money out of it. I believe right now, she must be making money because I met her like 3 weeks ago. Then you also get support from high-profile individuals. Of course, when you talk of high profile, these are people who are in positions of making decisions, say like managers. And I will tell you one very good example. One man came to a networking event where I was, and when he came, he was dressed in a very funny way. I think he was an artist. He had a cape, which of course covered his almost, part of his skin, his forehead. He had glasses, which I don't know whether they were real glasses or not. He He had a black belt, a pink trouser, and a light green shirt. I came to learn later, the way he looked was, and then of course his trouser was sagging. And then everybody was looking at him and they're wondering, what is wrong with this man? It doesn't look like he's really serious. Now he came here to do what? Everybody else was looking so smart. And we were very shocked when somebody said, I'm looking for the late CEO for Safaricom. And then he stood up and said, who was looking for the CEO for Safaricom? And then someone said, me, said, he's my very good friend, I'll connect you. Imagine after that, he got connected to him. And then after that, you can imagine he got business worth 10 million Kenya shillings. Can you imagine? So it means that, of course, there are people who don't look like, of course, they're high profile, but they have connections to these high profile people. So you have to know how to connect with people. So that's what I was saying. Even when you meet people and undermine them, then it means, of course, you are doing some injustice to yourself. Then growth in status. Once you network and network efficiently and properly with people, you grow in status. I would say like where I am today is not where I was. In 2012 is when I went to Business Network International. I learned how to network. I didn't even have an idea of what happens. I was held my hand by a friend of mine. And now when I went there, I took a whole year, no business. Second year, no business. So at the end of that year is when I got business worth 3,500. Yet I had given so much business to members. I had also received awards, but I had not received any business. But I said, you know what, Sarah, stay, be patient, learn. And I continued learning. And that learning is what has made me to be who I am today. I have gone to different countries. I have learned so much. I've received awards. So for me, you can see, I'm talking from my own personal experience. I never went to any class, but I learned that the more I become patient, the more I learn, the more I apply, fail and succeed, then of course, that is what is going to elevate me. Then growth in self-confidence. Let me tell you, my friends, Sarah was not who she is today. I was very shy. I used to shake in front of people. I didn't know even how to express myself. But imagine today, I'm a speaker. Today, I speak in conferences. I went to Canada last year and I was speaking to so many people. Last year, I was also going to speak to women in business. I mean, women who, of course, in a company called M Global. I think there were about 700 women. Just because they could see this lady has value, there's something that she has. So of course, what this means is that networking will make you, it will change you from someone who can't speak or talk to someone who, even if the president of America comes here and I'm told to speak, I will speak. So it makes you self-confident. And of course, the more confident you become, people want to relate with people who are confident. Not someone who fears, not someone who feels like, oh my goodness. People look at you and you're like, what is she saying? But the moment you show confidence, people want to relate with you and give you business or employ you. Then developing long-lasting relationships. One thing that we need to understand is, in networking, please make sure that the people you meet and those people you think you can build relationships with, don't leave them. Right now, we're talking about COVID-19. I have employees who have been with me for 23 good years. You can imagine someone being with you for 23 years. So what does that tell you? That my relationship with that lady, who is my topmost manager, she helped me when my husband passed on. She worked with me. She showed me how they were working together with my husband when I was working elsewhere. She has supported me and my family. And let me tell you, that lady has been a very strong pillar in our business. I have a very good relationship with her. My children have a very good relationship with her. So for me, it's like we have a very, very solid relationship. She still works with us. She has supported my daughter. She has right now, I have stepped aside so that they can continue doing business. So of course, once you build lasting relationships, if I had broken, if I didn't know how to build these relationships, then it means I could not have gone anywhere. And how do you build the relationships? making sure that, of course, you are good to people. Of course, not being a very this person who is like, you just pretend to be so good to someone. Be real, be genuine, be sincere, and then listen to other people. These are some of the tips, of course, which I'll give you later, afterwards. Let's go to the next slide. Now, you can see me there. This is a quote that I came up with, and that is my logo, SK. SK stands for Sarah Kiringi. Now, good things come to those who wait, but the best things come to those who persist. If I did not persist when Kiringi passed on, and if I don't persist even in business, because it's not easy to do business, and when I hear people speaking and they talk about entrepreneurship, they just sugarcoat it and they don't talk the truth, I would not be where I am today. I have gone through a lot of issues in my life, and I believe that most of you who are listening right now, everybody has gone through challenges. Nobody, of course, faces whose life is very smooth, because there's no life that is smooth. But winners persist. Winners are consistent. Winners believe that they will not stay down there, even when they crash. I lost my business, worth over 20 million Kenya shillings, soon after my husband had died. I just lost him, so it means I could have opted just to sleep and maybe close and say, now I'm not going to make it and I won't succeed. I did not have any knowledge of entrepreneurship, but I waved. I went through the motions. I went through the storms, and I came out just like an eagle. So you have to speak. So good things today are coming to me. Today, I don't work as much as I was working that time. I pushed myself. I related with good people who worked with me, who supported me, and even those enemies that you think are bad. I was sharing in Kathy Kuna's program the other day, and I was saying, at times we need enemies. Why? Because as an enemy will shake you, he'll make you feel so bad so that you can decide, okay, this is what he has said, but am I really that bad as he thinks? And that enemy is good because he'll make you think. He'll make you say, now this is my way forward, and I want to prove him wrong. And as you prove wrong, you prove him or her wrong, then of course you'll be miles ahead. So you should know that, of course, if good things have to come, they don't just come easily. You have to persist, you have to push, you have to go many times. Like when I went to look for a passport, I was looking to go for, I went to the American embassy. I wanted to go to see this man who is called the father of modern business networking, Dr. Ivan Meisner, who runs Business Network International. And when I went to the American embassy, they would tell me how much money I spent. I didn't look at the money, but I was just seeing that I was going to get there. I would see myself, I would close my eyes and I see myself in Miami. And it was not easy. I went first month, I did not get that, I did not get not the passport, but what do we call it? What do we call it? Okay, I never got that document, of course, that allows you to go, sorry? Yes, I never got the visa.
It's
I went
second visa.
Thank you. I went the second month, I never got the visa. I went the third month, I never got the visa. And every time I went, thank you very much. I can see Howard has written to me, visa, thank you so much. And I can see he's laughing. At times things just fly out of the head. And you can imagine such kind of persistence. Are you listening to me here? That probably you have this business, you have tried once, you have failed, you have tried twice, you have failed, 3 times you have failed, and you still say that you have given up, you've just thrown the towel. Can you listen to me carefully? Persist, and success will be yours. I don't believe in failure, and when I fail, I say it is good I have failed because I have learned something. So what I will not do, I will not make the same mistake again. So I try something different. So it's important for us, even as we are networking, we know that at times we may try things and they don't work. So we have to keep on working and working the right way, maybe with the right people. So you have to persist to get good things. Let's go to the next slide. So now that we understand why networking early is important, let us look at how we can kickstart. You can see those people, how happy they are. When you go to network, don't be dull. Make sure that you smile as much as you can. I learned how to smile. And when people look at a smiling person, they always want to connect with them. So one thing that you should always wear when you go out there, you should wear a smile and confidence. That is something that will come later. So now let us look at the following things. Creating a network. If you want to succeed in life, let me tell you, you must have a network. And probably some people say, you know, I'm too shy, oh dear, or I have this problem, or maybe when I look at people, I feel like I want to freeze. You should start practicing. Start with your family, even start talking to them. Try to imagine that you're speaking to people. And how do you speak? Maybe just introducing yourself and just addressing people, maybe with your aunties, or when we have family gatherings, you offer to do something for them. You offer maybe to speak. You become the person who is, of course, doing one thing or the other. And that way, when you want to seek for help, that is a network. A family is a network. Church is a network. Wherever you go, maybe those people that you meet, maybe you're a member of Rotary, that is a network. But then what do you do with that network? Do you just go there to gossip? Do you just go there and waste time? Do you go there, probably it's a place where people are drinking, just go there and drink and waste time? Or do you just go there and you are always on your phone? You have to create a network so that that network can work for you as you work for it. When you go to the chamber, when you go to KEPSA, when you go, maybe you are a member of a certain organization, what do you do in that organization? Probably you are told to serve and you're like, me, I don't feel like serving. So you are the first person to quit or to leave. You say, of course, me, I don't want to serve. Have you ever known that those people, even in church or in mosques or anywhere they go, and they're the people who give their service, time. They're the same people who probably, when an opportunity comes, they're the first people to enjoy. So what I would request that you do, if you're one person who says, me, I don't have time for people, please start creating time for people, because these are the people who will help you in time of need. Then using your network. How do you use your network? Make sure that the network that you have is going to help you to scale to the next level. Learn to ask questions and ask in the right way. Learn to support other people and they'll support you. Learn to gain knowledge from those people. And the moment you get that knowledge, apply it. If you don't apply it the right way, ask, is this the way to apply this information I got from you? Use that network for ideas. Use that network to connect with other people. Like now, I remember I have a network. The other day I was given a title. I mean, I got another award. I was not even aware. And someone just came and told me from Zimbabwe, she called me and told me, Sarah, congratulations. I didn't know why I was being congratulated. And then she told me, are you not aware that you have been nominated to the Women in Africa Woman of the month of June? I said, no, I'm not aware. Then she sent me that flyer and I didn't know. So now what happened is there's a lady I had helped a while back. I was helping even others, of course, in that same network. The lady who is in charge of that network keeps on consulting with me. And because of that, of course, she has been seeing me as what I've been doing online. And because of what they did, they started nominating and I was nominated. Not because I'm better than those other women, but just because of that small thing that I do for people. And so it's important for you to serve. Then expanding your network. Don't be comfortable where you are. The moment you feel so comfortable, it means there's something you're not doing. Make sure that you try to expand your network. What I do every day, I will tell you, I connect with a different person. I'll ask to be introduced by somebody somewhere. After that, I'll follow up and I make sure that my networks, I don't just lose them. Like, if it is maybe like online, those who probably have seen, I always post something so that, of course, I'll remain visible. So people always see Queen of Networking, who is she? And I'm sure they will go to my WhatsApp profile and they look at me, so they'll connect with me because they'll see Sarah has posted something good. And because of that, of course, you can see, well, anytime I go to ask for help, these people are willing to help me. I don't know them, but people always know me and they know that, of course, since I help, in case I need any help, I always get help. Then there's what we call online networking. I know most of you, and I believe most of the listeners are young people. I know we are always online. But let me ask you a very simple question. You are online doing what? How do you use your online networking? Or that, say, or you're on Facebook, you're on social media. How do you use that, the Facebook or the any other social media? Maybe you are on LinkedIn. What are the things that you connect there? Do you join groups that are of value? What is your contribution there? What is your participation there? Do you ask questions? Do you support other people? Do you also listen to other people? Do you feel bad when someone criticizes you? Because also criticism is not bad. So do you learn from that criticism? So when you are online, make sure that, of course, you are on social media for a purpose. Either you are promoting somebody's program, or maybe you are asking a question, or what I have seen like on WhatsApp, someone will post something very nice. You just read, you don't even say anything. Why? You are too proud. Why? Why don't you even just say that kidole? You, the one who say, congratulations, you've done something good. Why don't you even take the same and tell someone, can I post this because you've done something so good? Can I post it in another group? When I see someone telling me that, I connect with them very easily. So why is it that many people don't like even applauding others? You don't lose anything by praising others or by even lifting them. When you do that, they'll start connecting with you. Let me tell you something one time happened. On LinkedIn, there's somebody who became my friend when he was being bashed by everybody. I was buying property from Saiton. And I remember that time, there was a very bad thing which was going on around Saiton, and things were being said everywhere about Saiton. And then I encouraged him and I wrote very nice things to him. And I told him, you know what, Dande, when you see people bashing, you know there's something good you are doing. So just be encouraged. And I'm supporting you. And I said very nice things about him. But I had not met him. So afterwards, he got in touch with me and invited me for lunch. And we sat. I think he just needed someone to encourage him. And from that time, we became friends. And I told him, you know what, I'm also buying a property from you, but don't worry, I'll support you. And from that time, Dande always, once in a while, you see, he has commented about something that I post on social media, maybe on LinkedIn. We became friends just because of just one thing, that I supported him when he was down or when everybody else was bashing him. So it's important for us when we see things on social media, share something good, comment. When you do that, then another time, even Chris Ruby, every time I would comment something about on Facebook, and he was saying things about networking. Then I met him one of the events, someplace somewhere. Then I told him that my name is Sarah Kiringi, and they said, oh, I think I've heard that name somewhere. I said, I'm the person who likes your text online. And I was like, oh, yes, I remember. Yes, I remember. Oh, you're Sarah Kiringi. Yes, I can see, I've remembered. Yes. And so you can imagine, it's something so small, but it means so much. Yeah. Then again, I also remember when I went to meet the father of modern networking. I met him in a cruise ship last year. And the reason I was going to see him is because I wanted his mentorship. And then I told him, I have my book here. And I love the way you have been, you've been running BNI, and I've been performing so well. I've always been at the top. My performance is like this. And then he went online, he opened and he saw my performance and he was like, wow, this is so good. And I told him the reason why I came here because I wanted your mentorship. And you can imagine from 7:30 to 8 p.m., that man was mentoring me. And I never paid not even a single cent. And he was very happy because I was also supporting him in his business. And you can imagine what he did. He told me, I would also want you to co-author. We co-author a book with you, because he saw my books and he was very happy. And imagine one of my books, which is co-authored between him and myself and some other people, came because of something good I did to him. So I'm also making money from that. Yeah. So it's important for us to support other people's ideas, their ventures, and everything that they do. Then giving back to your network. I think with this, I've already explained that of course you have to give back to other people, you have to support to other people, and it doesn't require so much. It's not even money. At times it's money, because you have also to be willing to spend your time and just to spend your money. Let's go to the next slide. Now, creating a network. How do you create a network? That is, you have to talk to people about what they do. Now, what this means is that for you now to create a network, it means that you have to be interested in what other people do. First of all, you have to understand who they are. After that, you have to understand what they do. You have to understand their achievements. You have to understand what their networks are, or the networks that they are looking for probably, or if probably you could also join their networks, or how you can support them. So once you talk to people, people like talking about themselves. And they may even be able to tell you, no, probably instead of joining this network, join this other one, because this is where there's a lot of value. Then you should also ask for their contact. Once you meet someone, you have already met them, go online, maybe check their website and see what they are saying. Make a contribution in their website and probably just make a positive comment. And then once you ask them for a contact, it means it's not just for you to keep it there, but get in touch with them. When you see something that is related to their business or that is related to their career, then quickly tell them, you know what, I have seen something that I think can be of value to you. Imagine when you come and tell me, Sarah, there's this networking event, and I think you can go there and speak because you really changed my life. How do you think I'll feel? I'll be like, wow, this person is thinking about me. And because of that, I will become your friend automatically. So once you ask for that contact, make use of it positively. So you also have to stay in touch. You don't have to lose that contact. Make sure that you keep those people, of course, not everybody though, but of course, those people that you think you can work with. Then using your network again, asking for favors, for example, not asking for a job, of course. For example, you might need a reference for a job application, just like what I said, this person came to me and I think he just had so much faith, because I think he also found me in a very good mood, because I could not just have connected him to that lady. But if you feel maybe you have the qualification and you already have a relationship with that person, he knows you. For example, if I already know you, like if it's Mugo, he will come and tell me, you know what, probably I would want this connection, just like what Anne Megwe did, because Anne is a very good friend of mine. And she came to me and asked me, Sarah, we have this program, and Megwe and Mugo wanted to connect with you so that you can train us. And that is how I was able to come to this program. Then asking for career advice, people are often flattered when you seek them out to hear their opinion. So of course, once you get to people who are well connected, they feel good, of course, to be asked questions. Then get to know people in your local community. The moment once you get people in your local community, serve and make sure that, excuse me, just for 1 minute, just 1 minute.
Okay, as the speaker gets sorted.
Sorry, I was closing the door.
Okay, thank you. Okay, fine.
Sorry, yeah. Then you have to volunteer in an area you are interested in. Make sure that maybe probably when you are called to serve somewhere, you don't just have to snob people. Offer to do something. Most of you maybe probably are not even working. Once you offer, there are many people who have told me they have been employed by United Nations because they volunteer their services. Maybe there's a walk somewhere, they go, they support. So once you do that, of course, there will always be benefits. Then go to events, launches, and workshops. Don't just stay at home watching TV, or you are always on your social media. Stop wasting so much time there. The moment you go to events is where you find people. When you go for launches, you find who is who. When you go for workshops, you may be able to get ideas that you can apply to get started in life. Then take every chance to meet new people. So there's one thing that I see people doing, which I find is a mistake. You go to an event, and of course you start even pulling your neck to see the person that you know. Because of course you feel very uncomfortable sitting next to people that you don't know. Now, if for example you sit next to Sarah, you have known Sarah for the last 5 years, what value is Sarah going to add to you that you don't have? You already know each other. So try to seek to meet new people. The moment you meet new people, there's something that will come out of it. Then find out what you know, cover the industry you are interested in, and go to their events. For example, you may hear maybe probably you are a manufacturer of soap. And then you hear there is this Chinese company or American company that has come to Kenya, and they are manufacturers of soap. Can you try to go there to find out if there are new ideas that you can apply, or maybe probably there are new, there's new technology that you can apply so that you can grow. Let's go to the next slide, please. Let's go to the next slide so that we finish. And then online networking, social media such as LinkedIn. This is by far the social networking platform every youth should be on. Post your resume, work experience, rich source of news, business advice, and so much more. Okay, I'm also on LinkedIn. And what I have seen the difference between LinkedIn and these other social media is that LinkedIn is more professional. So once you go and post probably what you have, maybe your career, or your skills, you may find someone interested in whatever you are doing. And so that way you can be able to either get new jobs, or you get maybe someone wanting your services. And so in that case, of course, it's important for you to get, of course, presence on LinkedIn, sorry. Now, give back to your network. Now, what this means is that you should introduce your friends to other people in your network. There's one thing that I usually do. When I meet people, the first thing that I do is I connect them quickly to my friends. Meet so-and-so, this is what she does, and I've done business with her, or I know what she does. That way people get interested because I already have a relationship with them, and so that way they're able to connect very easily. So introduce your friends to other people in your network. Forward emails about job vacancies on all social events to people you think might be interested. And whenever someone helps you, send them a short thank you note or give them a call. If someone has done something for you, the best thing that you can do is tell them, thank you so much. I met you in this particular event and I was very happy to meet you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet you. That way it will be very hard for that person to meet you. If it is, of course, then let's go to the next slide. Now, if you don't learn, you don't grow. And if you don't grow, you eventually die. That is me, that's my quote. What this means, of course, I don't have to really interpret so much. I went to train in a certain company, and most of the people who are working for that organization were young people. And one time I was with Frida, who is my PA, and I asked them, you people, how many times do you read? Do you read? They said, no. You don't read any books? No. Let me tell you, if you don't read, if you don't learn, there's a difference between reading and learning. Learning, you learn something as a skill, you could be having a talent, but improve on it. Apply in your life, and you see change, because of course you grow. There will be some change. You learn from that. Even when you fail, you still learn something. Because you see, if you don't apply it, then it means you're not change. Nothing will happen to you. You'll be seeing other people doing so well, but you just either stagnate or you go to a lower level. So make sure that, of course, you keep on learning and relearning. Ask as much as possible. Go to online and get as much information as you can. Now, we are coming to the conclusion. Now, some of these are just bonus tips. Once you go to meet people, or maybe to do business with people, or you are going to an event, there's one thing that I have seen. And someone was telling me he doesn't have to dress so nicely. Let me tell you, if it's an event where you're going to meet important people, you have to dress to impress. What this means is, of course, first impressions. The way you see me, you always relate me with maybe how you saw me. Either it could be my hair, it could be my makeup, it could be the way I dress, or it could just be just the way I look. So if I'm in rags, definitely you not make an impression on you. There'll be no impact. And there are people who look at you and they say, wow, this one, I think I can give him or her business. There's one time I was told of a certain gentleman after university what he did. He realized that he was a lawyer. Those were many years ago, I think in the early 80s. He went, he saw a number of friends was there who used to meet somewhere in town in a certain hotel. That hotel was owned by one of them. And then he realized now what he needed to do. He went, he bought himself one suit. He went and I think somebody lent him money and he bought a Mercedes, those old type Mercedes Benzes. And so he went and parked near one of there was this whose vehicle was just next to his. And then, of course, he sat there and then he went and introduced himself. And then he said, then this man looked at him and he was like, oh, is that your car? I said, yes. Then he said, I was coming to look for you. Then it showed him inside that he was introduced by other others. And he said, I'm so and so, and I've come to see you, and I would like to do business with you. So when they looked at him and they saw the car he was driving, and of course they were driving a Mercedes, even then they decided, why not give him business? And they started, that is how he started. When everybody was criticizing him, he had a strategy. I'm not saying that you go and buy Benzes and waste money on Benzes or something like that, no. But you have to look the part. He knew his market was in those people because he knew he wanted business from people who, of course, were well-to-do. They had the money, and so he had to be like them. Then offer sincere compliment. When probably you see someone has been promoted, why don't you rejoice for him? Why don't you congratulate him? But most of us die in pain or maybe in anger or maybe in jealousy. But please, once you find that someone is doing so well, or maybe has received an award, or maybe something good has happened to them, just tell them congratulations. Even on social media, when you see someone has posted on WhatsApp, this has happened, just tell them congratulations. Because when you do that, you'll be connecting with them. Then listen and show interest. Many times you don't want to listen to people, and you realize that, of course, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. What does that mean? That you need to listen more than you talk, and then show interest in other people. If someone is doing something somewhere, and probably they need help, show interest in helping them, or ask them how you can be of support to them. Then be of specific use, be there to offer help. Don't start saying, feeling that you are so busy, you can't help somebody, you are never available, so please be of specific use. Offer to help. If it's maybe you have been called to come and give a talk, go and give that talk. If it's advice, go and give that advice. Don't feel like probably you are wasting time, because you never know who will help you next time. Then always keep time. I'm very happy to see that there are those people who connected in this program at, I think it was some minutes to 8, which is very good, because once you keep time, then it means, of course, you respect yourself and the person that you are going to meet. Then be memorable. What can you be remembered for? What is that one good thing that someone can say? Like, I know that Mogo is good. He has been doing good things to us. And so because of that, Mogo will never be forgotten. Because, of course, he has brought all of you together to learn. Then, in business, follow up. If someone gives you business, say, for example, I've given you a referral. I've connected you to somebody to do business with him. The reason why we don't get business, the reason why we don't grow, the reason why things never change and we keep on complaining is because we don't follow up. You are told, come and see me after 2 months on this specific date, you forget and you never follow up. So by the time you remember to be after 3 months, that person will not be interested in you. Then talk to strangers. One time, as I conclude, I was going to Rwanda. There was a conference there. And one thing that, because that was the time I had just learned that it's important to listen and talk to strangers. I sat next to someone, and when I sat next to him in the plane, I was like, now should I talk to him? I was like, now should I? And then finally, I just said, hi, this plane is taking too long. And it was like, oh yeah, in fact, even me, I'm wondering why it's taking long. And that is how I broke that silence. And we started talking. And guess what? After that, he just told me that he wanted his build to be done, his house to be done, and I was able to supply him with materials, and we were able to build for him that house. Let's go to the next slide. So talk to strangers, because you never know who that stranger is. Let's continue. Now, I'll just say thank you very much for listening to me. I have taken so long. I wanted to explain to you everything as much as I could so that you could understand the importance of networking, because networking is something that is going to change your life. Let's go to the next slide. So this one is my contact, 0714-880-173. That's my number. Then, who are we? Global networks. There are people who consult. They come to me, they consult with me, they want to learn about networking. There are times I do one-on-one consultation. I charge a small fee, and I have been able to change some people. Like, I think I have seen Mary Wambua. Mary is one of those mentees who have really changed through my mentorship, and I'm very proud of her, and I've given her a lot of business and a lot of contacts, and also advised her to join networks. We also do training. Of course, because of COVID, now we are going to change from face-to-face training to training through webinars, and then business connections. Other than the fact that, of course, there is this COVID that came, in April, I had organized a group that was going to Qatar, and this was a business trip that was going to be one of the most successful. Why? Because my networks are very solid. I partnered with someone who is based in Qatar, and we were going to get someone from Kenya and connect them with someone from different parts of the world to do business together. So it was not guesswork. And we had also trained them what they were going to say and how they were going to connect for business. Then I also do business mentorship, and I do conference talks. So that is who I am, and that is what we do. So now I think you can just ask questions, and then we close. Thank you very much, Mr. Mwangi, Mogo, for inviting me.
Thank you very, very much, Sarah. Oh, such an honor, such a, well, yes, as you've said, a little bit of time used, but I can tell you the well used, I mean, time well used. You can see people are still here and stuck with us. Yeah, so that we don't use a lot of time, I want to give an opportunity for you to ask a few questions, and then we will be winding up. But thank you very, very much, Sarah. I've learned a lot. I'm thinking of, talking to strangers. I'm this kind of guy. Well, these days I'm doing it. The only reason as to why I have you here and many speakers. In fact, talking of almost 40 sessions, this is 39. I think more than 75% of the speakers, I never knew them when I was beginning this. So I want to believe that is now the networking, and very, very powerful speakers. But before then, I don't think I was very good. I am the kind of guy who can just sit to myself and not talk to people. But now I'm learning a lot, and this is this is a lot of wealth of information. Thank you very much. I want to just share your questions there. I will read a few, and then Sarah will be able to respond to them. Then we'll call it a night. And we are really inspired. I can see people are responding there. I would love to read a comment that has been shared from Facebook. And somebody said, yeah, G here Samuel on Facebook, he's saying, oh, no, sorry. He says, oh no, this makes me feel so bad. I have come across very, very many important people, but never found a reason to network. I'll start now. Thank you. At least you are going to start. The feeling, eh? And I want to believe Jay here's feeling is a feeling of so many of us here. And there's something that you said, Sarah, that you have hit the nail head on. We go to a conference or in a meeting, and then I'm busy looking for people I know to sit next to them. That has been me. I only sit to people that I know. And now I'm transformed. I'll never do that again. Yes. And I want to believe the rest of us. Okay, fine. Thank you. Let me see whether there is anybody who has a question. We would love to respond to that. So that, yeah, a lot of comments here. Wow, thank you, Sarah. Oh, somebody is saying same. That is Timothy. Very inspiring. Thank you, Willie Kamau. Lovely presentation. Sarah, that is billionaire Anthony Roberts. Thank you, billionaire. We are honored to have billionaires here as well. Wow, awesome, awesome presentation. God bless you, Ann Muchai. Thank you. Julius Waidera says thank you. Gilbert Limo says thank you, Sarah. God bless you. And please, as I go on, there are 2 links we have shared there. One of them is for our WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group. If this session has been great, then you can be sure it's just one among many great ones. We have been having powerful speakers here. We do this every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Saturday. So when you join that WhatsApp group, you will never miss any. You will always be ahead and knowing what is happening. So click on that, join our WhatsApp group. Again, in that WhatsApp group, we share opportunities. Some of the speakers also join, and they are there, so you can always connect with them and learn from them, and so on and so forth. Is one powerful network as well. So feel free to join there. But mainly, we just talk of things that relate to our session here. I can see so many comments coming fast and furious. Let me see what I can be able to pick out. And also, I've shared also another link for our YouTube channel. Feel free to share, to click subscribe. That's where we share our videos. Like this one will be edited. We'll post it on our YouTube channel. So when you go there, you'll be able to find wealth of information. So it's always a learning experience when I listen to Sarah. Thank you. That's Joyce Minor. Must be somebody you know. Gilbert again says, through the program of Youth, Matthew has networked to all of us. Thank you very much, Gilbert. Yes, you don't know how much I've networked, and I want to believe all of us are networking. Thank you for the good work you are doing, Sarah. Charity. Billionaire again says, Sarah, please elaborate me on the art of listening and eye contact, or elaborate more.
Okay. What networking is that when you talk to somebody, you see, if you are looking elsewhere and maybe I'm talking to you, you see there's something about facial expression or the eyes. Even the eyes, though they don't have a mouth, they talk, they speak. So when you look at me and you are smiling, definitely I'll be connecting with you. So now when you make that eye contact, someone will see you're very confident. But when you start looking aside, it's like they'll start feeling like this person is fidgety, it's like he's not confident. So I wouldn't want to do business with such a person. So it is important, once you are talking to someone, look at them, smile, and look at them properly. Not, of course, opening your eyes, and of course, make sure that the eye contact is good and it is firm and welcoming. Just be warm. And that, of course, that person will connect with you.
Thank you very much. Sadan is reading for us Facebook. He says, our Facebook people, and I say thanks, Sarah, for the best presentation. Thank you very much, Sadan. He's the one who is streaming for us. Awesome. God bless you, Sarah. That's Mary Murigi. Emodia says, great presentation. Thank you for your time. God bless you so much. More days of to keep doing this and mentoring more people. God give you more days. Yes, thank you very much, Sarah. Actually, this has been very helpful, or you have been very helpful. What is the difference between business networking and business mentorship? Nice question from Gilbert Limo.
Okay, that's a very good question. Business networking is about building meaningful and lasting relationships. That is, of course, I think I've already elaborated on that. What business networking is about people. Is I know something, I quickly call you and connect you with that opportunity, or I support you, maybe I give you an idea, or I connect you to some of my referrals, or I give you business. That is what is networking. It's mutual. Maybe I'm supporting you, and maybe at some point you also need to help me in case maybe I need help. And then business mentorship is that it's just mentoring you on business. That maybe probably want to start a business, and probably I have an idea, or maybe I can be able to support you or work with you through the journey of business. That is now business mentorship. You need someone to work with you, to support you. You ask questions. In case you are down, they'll support you and tell you, no, just continue trying one thing and another, and then maybe probably they connect you with their networks. So that is now what is business mentorship. Someone works with you. This other one, of course, also someone works with you, but it's different because, of course, this one is they give you the support as a mentor. Someone comes as a mentor to work with you and hold you such that you don't fall or collapse.
Thank you very much, Sarah. That's well answered. Caroline is saying this is so insightful. Zembi is also saying thank you for the enlightening session. Sifira, thanks a lot for you are working well. You are working well. Great. God bless you so much, Sarah. And then this is a question from Julius Waidera. Very nice question. My question is how to get to a person who did not receive you well. Yeah, you've approached a person, they were cold towards you. How do you network?
That's a very good question. Even me, I have received people who you look at them and they don't want to talk to you. I think you can do up to so much, but what I think you need to do is that probably if this is someone you feel can really help you, look for their friends. Go online, find out who maybe is Sarah's friends. Once you connect with me, maybe those people who I'm connecting with almost on a daily basis online, look out for them. And then once you meet them, tell them that you'd like them to connect you to Sarah. And that way, of course, it will not be difficult, because that person definitely will say, oh, you wanted to see me because of that relationship this person has. Definitely, they will also want to connect. They will have to listen to you because, of course, they are friends with that other person. It's not hard. But when you go to them and they are close to you, then, of course, it's nothing you can do, because there's times you go to events and you find people, of course, are cold and we are all treated differently. But try to find who that person's friend is, especially if you want to meet them. But in events, let's say like speakers, also be very strategic. When I used to go to events and I wanted to meet someone, I used to go there very early. I sit right behind where the speakers were sitting. And then I would start now engaging them. Speakers in most cases don't snob people. They will usually talk to you. But maybe it's just generally maybe in an event and maybe someone doesn't want to talk to you and you know that person can really help you. Look for who their friends are. If those friends are approachable, then see whether you can be able now to connect to that person through them. That is an easier way instead of just giving up and saying, after all, this person is so cold, I cannot meet them, I cannot talk to them. Keep on pushing, persist. Good things come to those people who persist. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good
things. Yeah, I've seen someone saying, there is a lady called Vaya Kamau. She's asking, my name is Violet Kamau. I'm with Britam Insurance. Can you come over and inspire us? I could connect you with my branch manager. Yeah, maybe you could plan that. Probably more we can work on that.
Yeah. I will. Via, you can just talk to me. I'll connect you. This is networking. I will also help you network. And you can see, Sarah, you're already networking. That will be business. There's no way Britam will host you for free. That is great. Thank you very much. I can see quite, wow. People are fast and furious. I want to comment 2 comments here, or questions. Sometimes, this is Gladys who is saying, sometimes people or strangers could be judgmental. How should you go about it? Thanks, Sarah, for the good work, well researched. I think that you have already responded to that, but I want to add that one to a person who has sent me this anonymous. I don't want to mention their name, is a lady. She is saying, I love networking, but being single, there are these men who don't really understand having a long-term relationship without having this evil mindset called lust. Some are very resourceful. How do you go deal with such? Maybe you went to connect for business or other reasons, but somebody is seeing now or something, I don't know.
This is something that happens, and I think what you need to do is that the moment you show someone that you know you are professional, okay, you have to use wisdom, apply wisdom in such instances. This is something that happens. It happens almost on a daily basis. And or maybe like you go somewhere, even in offices, everywhere you go, even as you travel, there are those people who start telling you very weird things. You don't have to be rude, but just be very mature. Hold yourself very maturely and tell somebody very clearly that I am here to do business. But don't be harsh. Don't show them like, you know, why are you doing this to me? And because of course they'll be embarrassed. But the thing is, let them know exactly who you are, that you are professional and you are out to do business, but of course not those other things that they're interested in. That is how I have always worked. And the moment people see what kind of a person you are, definitely they'll respect you. If they go further, look for their friends whom of course you know are men of integrity and tell them, you know what, I'm sending you to Mogo. I'm not saying, of course, that is how Mogo is. I'm only giving him, using him as an example. And I would like you to go and talk to him. And of course, because of that, they'll be embarrassed. Next time, they'll not do such a thing. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well answered. Maybe the saying is just adding to your point. Eye contact shows that you have confidence and good knowledge of what you sell. And I think you've already demonstrated that in a big way. Teddy in Uganda says, my take home are the bonus tips. I have discovered the secret. Thank you very much, Teddy. Always a pleasure having you here. Lidiswa from Qatar is saying, thank you for the strong advice. God bless you. We have international listeners. Thank you, Lidiswa, for always tuning in. Thank you so much for the great presentation. Quite helpful. That's Anne Munyingi. Thank you very much for answering the questions. Thank you very much. Okay, fine. Rian, by the way, I'm calling you Rian Kazantazik. Is it Rian or Ryan? I'm used to the Ryan with Y. I hope I pronounce it right. Ask Sarah any networking opportunity to Forex trading. Okay, that's specific to a particular area. So I don't know what Ryan is looking for specifically, whether he is looking for to be connected in that space, but how do you understand that question, Sarah? Ask Sarah any networking opportunity in Forex trading.
I don't know what exactly. I don't exactly understand what he's asking, but I think he wants to maybe connected to people who do forex trading. That's what I tend to think. But if you want, maybe I can get him contacts of those people who are doing it and doing it the right way. I know a few people, but I personally don't do it. But I have some people who do it. So if he's interested, probably he can get in touch with me.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Yes, billionaire. Okay, this one he has sent to me. Thank you, billionaire. Okay, fine. Thanks, guys. I think we have tried as much as possible to read all the comments and the questions, and also those ones who are listening to us on Facebook. I hope you have found a lot of wealth in this, and it's always a great pleasure to see people, youths. And let me repeat what I said as I was beginning. And we are please don't mistake. We are not only youths here. This session was started for really youths. I was targeting youths between 20 and 30. College and university students or recent graduates, but stand out to be it's a home for so many who are not even in that bracket. Between 30 and 40, I've noticed that are almost 50%, understandably, because the content is wonderful. But also we have other people who are much older, like our presenter in the last session, Dr. Doreen. I can see her here, and she is not in our league of youth, and so many others who have been joining us. It's because we have been having a lot of wealth being shared here. And thank you very much. But for the youth, I want to speak this to us, that I repeat what I began by saying, as much as it's being offered for free, it does not mean it's cheap. Just ask yourself, why are the 30 to 40-year-old working class busy listening to these sessions and not missing a session? You will find it's because they know for them to access this kind of content, 1 hour, they will be paying 10K, 20K, or something like that. But we are getting it for free. Speakers are preparing. Ask yourself, how many slides were those? How much time did Sarah sit down to prepare just for us? Just for us. And she has not been paid a penny. I'll be very happy to pay her next time if you guys start paying. Next time you come with 200 each. Okay? Anyway. I'll be very happy if I can pay. But look at this. They are doing this for free, just for free for us. Don't let this get wasted. Pick something, run with it. Don't pick 1,000 points. Just pick 2. Let them be transformational. Start networking tomorrow. If you wait and start, imagining things, a lot of things in your head, Corona will be over, season will be over, and you will not have done a thing. Pick something, run with it immediately. And then when the next time we have a session for feedback, come and share, tell us. From Sarah's session, I started networking with these guys. How have I been getting speakers? Let me tell you. Some of the speakers you have seen here, some very big names, Wahiga Mwaura, and I didn't know him. I've been seeing him where you have been seeing him. I just networked with him, LinkedIn, slowly, and I brought him on board. And other people that you have been seeing, some big names, and others who are coming. I mentioned I don't want to tell you the date, but that's why you need to join the WhatsApp group. Professor Bitange Demo is one of the people who are coming this July. Do I know him? Have I ever met him? But we have networked just like that. So I'm really impressed. It's like, Sarah is like, I already started learning before even the session. I'm already networking, and I'm so happy because I've now learned professional tips of how to do it. I can only get better. Maybe next time I will bring you the DP or somebody. Anyway. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Thank you very much for all of us tuning in. Let's go and start networking. Next time we have a sharing session, come and share. Tell us who you have been able to network with and the impact it is having on your life. Again, we were told it is not contact harvesting. It's not just harvesting contacts. It's being mutually beneficial. You are beneficial to them. They are beneficial to you. So thanks a lot, guys. I want to show you what is coming next. But before then, I will be giving Sarah an opportunity to make her closing remarks. But again, before then, I can't fail to recognize Anne Megwe. Anne did this connection. I never even knew Sarah exists to begin with. She was able to connect me. Now we are connected. Now we are friends. Thank you, thank you, Anne. I can give you just have a minute to say hi, and of course say hi to Sarah from this platform.
She's muted.
Yes, unmute yourself. Anne?
Hello, you can hear me?
Yes,
hello.
You can. Yes, you can.
Oh, I'm very grateful, Ma Sarah. I call her It's Madam, but it's Masara. I'm very grateful and honored. Actually, this honor goes to me for you to have come to this session. And also Matthew for entrusting me. You entrusted me to invite more people. This is your thing. This is your vision. We're just boarding into this vehicle. And also Frida, thank you very much for making this happen. Just a testimony from Sarah. She said that she's been networking. In the month of May, there's a friend of mine who was selling some items. And then whatever she was selling to me, I heard it. And then I told her, I will ask. Sarah has opened different groups where people network. And then I introduced that lady to Sarah, to that group. And within that month, she made a lot of money. No, did I give her money? No. But through Sarah, I just connected her. Sarah never gave her money, but through the connection, networking, she got to have it. So thank you very much. Masara, I know you have different groups, even for ladies. Today, allow me to ask for the men. I don't know whether you have for the men. We would love you to have one for the men so that they can network and so that they can benefit. God bless you a million times. I know, as you've said, I know how much these costs, but you have done it for us for free. I'm honored. God bless you and every one of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you in a big way. Anne has given me not only Sarah, she brought us Tijo here, and she has also connected with other people behind the scenes. So if you are there, you have a connection of a great speaker you know can be of benefit to us. Don't shy away, just inbox me. Find, and I want to appreciate the others who have also been doing that. People I don't know, at least for Anna, I knew her, who have been sending me contacts and telling me, invite this guy, he's a very good guy. And that's how I've been connecting. So feel free, if you feel there's somebody who can be of great help and a blessing to this session and to the youths, feel free to inbox me. I will be happy to invite them and to connect with them and invite them. And in line with what Anne Megwe has said, please share. Don't be jealous, please share. Get into a YouTube link, which I've just shared there. Subscribe, share also with your networks. Let other people benefit if you're benefiting. So please, I hope to get some few new subscriptions. So I ask Sarah to make your closing remarks. Then I show you what is coming next 2 days from now. And then we close.
Okay, now my closing remark is, it is said that your network is your net worth. I say your network is your good networks is your net wealth. The more networked you are with the right people, those are the people who help you to scale high and you go so far. So for you right now, you are young people, but let me tell you, the moment you make the right choices, the kind of people you are working with, the kind of things that of course they help you do, that is what is going to help you to go to the next level. And never fear the people who are above you. Even when you see someone is as rich as what, at the end of the day, they are made with the same material like yourself, flesh like you. So make sure that even if you see like maybe they are so big, look for an opportunity or a way to meet them so that they can support you. But please don't go asking for business at the first instance, at employ me or give me money or give me business. No, there's always a relationship. So try to build relationship because that is what is going to build you. And also be ready to serve. When you do that, God is a God who wants, even Jesus Christ served us. So you too serve others and you see yourselves rising. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't think I want to add anything more than that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Millie is telling me, wow, this is wonderful. I'm 45, I'm over 45. So we are not only having 30 or 20 to 30, we also have over 45. Thank you, Millie, for joining us. And I know you're not the only one. Thanks, guys. I think we have shared maybe somebody can reshare for me the WhatsApp link again there, so that for those ones who may have missed it. Okay, Sarah, Caroline Wanjiro is asking, how can we join the networks for ladies that Anne is talking about? Okay, well, I don't want to comment on that. So,
no, just reach out to
where are they found, Sarah? Yes.
Reach out to Anne and I'll create some groups for you. I've actually helped very many people to do a lot of business, and I don't ask for commissions. I just create groups and I help them to connect with each other. They make money, and they connect with each other. And I'm very happy about that. I may not give you the money, but I'll help you to have those networks where you support each other and of course you grow. And that is my joy.
Thank you very much. And waiting for the one for men that Anne has recommended.
Okay,
you can make a group admin. And
okay.
I will assist.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. So this is what is coming next. Good people. Let me share. Okay, fine. Okay, we can pull down the sharing from Frida so that I'm able to share. Or maybe I'm still able to share even when you are sharing. Let me see. Okay, coming next. Anybody who can read for me that? I don't know if it has already started showing. If you can, just read for me the topic.
Marketplace dilemma.
How to navigate.
Marketplace dilemmas, how to navigate as a youth. Anybody here who knows this speaker? John Nganga? Just say I if you know him. I can tell you for sure, and I don't think I'm a very good marketer, but I can assure you, anybody who knows Nganga will not miss that session. I can guarantee you. And the ones who don't know him, you also can't miss so that you know him. This is one of the greatest speakers, especially when it comes to Christian circles. I've never entered any professional, high-level Christian circle meeting that John Nganga is not one of the keynote speakers. He's an international speaker and a very endowed, of course, a very wealthy man in terms of knowledge and the wisdom, and also having worked in multinationals at a very, very high positions. And another of, guess how many? 13 books on leadership. If you want to think about leadership and talk about leadership, there's a guy to talk about. So if you have any dream of becoming a leader in your workplace, or even leader at your level, you don't have to be a leader because you are leading people, but leader. This is the session to be in. He's next is one of the rare, just like Sarah here. The moment that I just was able to connect with him, I was like, oh God, you have honored me, you have favored me that I can connect with people like this. So he's next. I think I've done enough marketing. The rest you can, you can help me market. I'll be sharing the poster in the WhatsApp group shortly after this. Help us distribute. Let's have as many youths benefiting as possible. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot, Sarah. I can't thank you enough. I'm so grateful you could find time to be with us and so patiently for 1 hour, 45 minutes, actually 2 hours, because for you and me, we joined a bit early. 2 hours seated there. I'm so honored. At your age, I'm so honored. Thank you very much. God bless you so much. For the youths, let's run with this. God bless us all. See you 2 days from now. God bless you so much. Thank you. Have a lovely night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Good night.
and the books, please, they are books by Sarah. Yes, Sarah, you have done books. Where can we get them?
Oh, you can
For
get
those
them
ones who are interested.
Yeah, I have 3 books. The first book is Overcoming the Impossible. The other one is What Successful Networkers Do and Who is in Your Room. Those ones you can find them on Amazon, or you can still call me and I'll get you a hard copy. But I know most of you go online.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I hope we will get several orders from these wonderful guys here. Thank you. And if you did not, by any chance, you did not get Sarah's number, feel free to inbox me on WhatsApp. I'll be able to get you the number or a way of connecting with her or the PA, and then you will get anything that you need. Thank you very much. Lovely night.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah,
You are indeed the best.
Yes. God bless you.
Night. Bye. Asante.
Good night,
Bye.
guys.
Please comment on the group how the discussion was.
Okay.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
I'm looking forward to see those comments because many of us are so silent in the group. We are the kind that Sarah said, you see a nice comment and you don't want to share it. It is.
Oh.
You want to it?
No, we shall comment.
We are going to
Please, I
comment.
want to see those comments. I want to see those comments. I want to see a lot of activity in that WhatsApp group from now on. When you see something nice, share it. Spread the word.
Yes.
Thank you very
We are
much.
revolution.
There's a revolution. Thank you, Shifira. I want to see the revolution going forward. Hii maneno ya kunyamaza tu na mwenyewe tumekataa. Nimesikia ni wivu. Ni wivu. No, there's a word she used. I can't even say it. Oh, it's pride. Yes, she said it is proud. It is pride to see a good post and you refuse to comment on it or to share. So what will happen, my pride?
Yes. Now measure my feelings.
My feelings.
Mr. Mogo, what is your number?
Peter, sorry.
Mr. Mogo, what is your number?
My number is 0776 184
0776.
Let me type it on the chat there. 0776 184 741. Okay, yeah, there you go. With that one, but that one is not for calls. That was for WhatsApp only. Once you WhatsApp me, we can always get the other one for calls. Yeah, we can always. I can always give you that.
That's
WhatsApp you are. Thank you very much.
We need to.
Thanks.
People are not listening.
I can see. I'm just seeing people leaving, but they are not in the need. Today, people are so energetic. It's great. It's great. We have learned a lot, and I think this is networking.